Welcome, you guys. This is Mama T with Facts and Tea podcast. Thank you for joining me today. I hope all this information that you get today will be informative and help you be informed about what's going on in the world today. Like we always start, today I am drinking tea. All right, like my little cup, you guys, little doggies. Okay, I'm drinking hibiscus tea. And like I always say, let me know what teas you guys want me to try. Let me know what teas you guys are drinking. If you guys are drinking any tea while you're watching the podcast. So today we are going to get started, you guys. It's a lot going on in the news. Um, it's a lot going on with the weather. So let's start with that. There is a tropical storm that's happening on the East Coast. Everyone knows around this time, around August and the beginning of September, is hurricane season. So you guys have to be on the lookout for that. If you're on the East Coast, close to Florida, New York, all those areas on the coast, on the East Coast, just be aware of the news when it comes to the hurricane storms. It was reported that today there was 2 deaths in the drowning with the riptides, rip currents that happened. The rip currents are unpredictable. You can be where your feet is, just in the water, and all of a sudden the rip current can pull you into the deep end of the ocean. They are saying that 2 people have died today. It was a father. He was in his 30s, and his 16-year-old was hurt real bad. And then there was an elderly woman that was also she died from the rip currents as well. So just make sure that you guys are really paying attention when you're out at the beach and in the waters, because the rip currents are very unpredictable. So just watch out for any kind of warnings that you guys will see on the news, or any warnings you will see from the lifeguards. They're saying that most of these incidents happen when the lifeguards were not on duty. So they're stating that if you don't see a lifeguard on duty, do not get in the water. The lifeguard is there to protect you, to give you warning if they get a notification that there is rip currents that are occurring while you're out on the beach. So if you decide that you want to go to the beach, have a beach day with your family, and you want to get in the water, just make sure you're near where a lifeguard is. So if anything comes awry, if you get a rip current that comes and rip you into the ocean, that they're there to help you and try to save your life and get you out of the water. So there was also a fatal shooting in Austin, Texas, in Target, based in a Target parking lot. There was a man that came out, and basically he got out of his car and he shot an employee that was collecting the carts, and known as a cart attendant. And then he also seen a grandfather and their granddaughter in the car, and he randomly shot them as well. Then he went on basically a high-speed chase and hijacking cars, and then the police ended up finding him in someone's backyard. When they asked him what caused him to do these acts, he said that Jesus told him to do it, and it was a random act of violence. He wasn't targeting anyone. So basically, they're saying that he didn't have any history of mental health issues, but they're leaning that more than likely that he was mentally unstable. So let's get to talking about the White House and what's going on there, you guys. So Donald Trump is supposed to be meeting with Putin, the president of Russia, to speak on the war with Ukraine. Everyone knows, if you've been following the war, that Putin he says one thing, but he does another. So the president of Ukraine is telling basically the United States and President Trump not to basically fall into the sayings of Putin, how he says that, he's going to cease fire, but he really isn't. He's basically saying that he wants the exchange of he wants the exchange of land of Ukraine for him to stop the war. Now he's been saying this for years, and it doesn't matter what you give Putin. You get an inch, you take him out. So it doesn't matter what he states. He's still going to go ahead and still continue with the war because he really wants to control Ukraine. He wants to take over all the lands. He wants to take over the people. But the president of Ukraine is not going to follow into that trap, and he is still fighting for his people, and the United States is still standing behind him, and Donald Trump is coming together and stating that this is going to be a listening exercise, whatever that's supposed to mean. Hopefully they can come to a resolution in regards to this. This war has been going on for too long, and Putin just needs to basically give it up and let the Ukraine people run their land the way that they want to run their land. Okay, then there was another shooting, you guys, at the CDC office. So basically, the suspect, his name is Patrick Joseph White. He stated that he was blaming the COVID vaccine for his mental illness. He said that the vaccine made him depressed and suicidal. Once his father was notified that there was a shooting going on at the CDC office, he did call 911 and stated that he believes that it was his son that was involved in this incident, and he was afraid for his son's safety because he feels as if his son basically went AWOL and shot up the building. Once the incident was over, he did kill one police officer. They also collected more than 500 rounds were collected after the scene. And then he did shoot out 150 windows of the building, and he was shooting at 6 CDC buildings. So he was really trying to hurt all the employees that were inside the building. Thank God none of the employees were harmed by this incident. Well, physically, a lot of the employees are saying that they are scared to come to work. We want to give our condolences to the officer that did lose their lives protecting the employees. And then also the CDC employees are blaming Robert F. Kennedy Jr. If you don't know, he's over the health department for the United States, and he doesn't believe in vaccines. And so they're stating that since he has been making those statements, that they already have been getting threats and from different people calling in to the CDC building. But now, since there has been an actual attack on the building, hopefully Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will speak out in regards to this incident. We'll see what they say in regards to this incident. I just want to say that, when you are working in a corporate building, you go to work and you're just saying like, okay, I'm just going to go to work and do my daily tasks that I need to do at work. You're not thinking about someone coming to harm you just for you to do your job. From this administration, there has been a lot of misinformation, which is causing people to basically take things into their own hands. And when they do things like this to attack a building that is trying to help the health department, help us, they're the ones that inform us if there's any new viruses that are coming out, any kind of new cases that will infect our health. They shouldn't be afraid to come to work. These are scientists that have went to school, got their degree, and they're here to help us to make the United States a better place, to make the world a better place, and to prevent diseases and also create vaccines to prevent these diseases. So I feel like we have a lot of misinformation, which is making a lot of people go AWOL and lose their minds, and making them feel like the people that are supposed to be helping them, they're getting information from the government that the CDC is not a good thing for the government, which they work for the government. They work for us, the United States citizens. So just hold on to your information. Hold on to the information that you're getting from me. Any information that you are getting from any other resources, make sure that it is real information and not fake information that's coming out. There's a lot of AI articles that are coming out. You have to just verify your sources. So just be on the lookout for misinformation so you don't be misinformed. And then also, when you're misinformed, it makes you repeat the misinformation. And then that goes downhill where this person believed that the vaccine created them to be depressed and suicidal. And they're stating that CDC stating that this vaccine, no one has came back from the vaccine saying that they have these effects. So just continue to pray for the family of the officer that was lost today, and just continue to pray for our CDC employees that they feel safe enough to come to work to do what they are employed to do. Okay, now we're going to talk about another thing Donald Trump has done, y'all. So he is seizing to take over Washington, D.C. He's basically trying to do the same thing that he did when quotation marks, y'all, quotation marks, when he's saying that in LA that there was riots and LA police couldn't control the protesters, and so he decided to take over and send the National Guard. Okay, he's trying to do the same thing. I'm not going to say trying. He's doing the same thing in DC. He is making up his own facts, which is not correct. He's stating that DC has the worst crime rate and that he needs to take over with the National Guard, and basically the police of Washington D.C. and the mayor will be under him, and he's taken over to clean up the streets. Now, it has, since they have deployed the National Guard, there has been the first 800 National Guard troops were deployed today. They don't have any orders yet on what exactly they're going to be doing until Monday. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that to see what their plan is and how they're going to enforce the force of the National Guard. It shows here that he really didn't want to explain to the mayor, Bowser, also what was really going on. He's really targeting basically majority black cities. You don't know, Donald Trump has an issue with black people. Okay, he states that he loves the blacks. He loves the blacks, like he always say, but he doesn't love us. He despises us. We have multiple examples of how he despises us. He's using the same rhetoric he was using when the Central Park boys that were falsely accused of raping the jogger and was sentenced to go to jail, but then was exonerated. He's using the same language. He's stating that there's murderers, there's rapists, there's drug dealers, and he's upset because there's a lot of people that are unhoused. I don't think having a National Guard is supposed to help with people that are unhoused. You have to have programs to help people find housing. A lot of people that are unhoused, it's not like they want to sleep on the road. They don't have the resources and they don't have the funds to stay in housing. So you have to provide those programs. But by Donald Trump taking away so many programs with the United States, he's taking away Medi-Cal, Medicaid, taking away SNAP, taking away anything that's helping anyone that's low income and trying to make it in the United States. He's taking away all those benefits and then expect people not to be homeless. He's also trying to take away Section 8. That's another program for people to keep housing. So it's just like he doesn't make sense. He says one thing and does another. Since they have basically deployed these National Guards. There has been 23 arrests today, and didn't say what the arrests were for, but he's basically saying he's tired of seeing the unhoused people. So he's basically trying to push those people out of the city of Washington D.C. The mayor states that she has been speaking to Attorney General Pam Bondi to discuss that she has informed the chief of police of what's going on in the situation, and then if the attorney general needs their help, that they are available. She's trying to be cooperative, but at the same time, she does feel like this is an attack on her city. This is an attack on her administration as her being a mayor, and it doesn't make sense because the stats show that violent crime has been down 26% in the last 30 years. And then also robbery is down 28%. And then sex crimes are down 50%. So if you have crime going down in the last 30 years, and it's been the lowest in the last 30 years, that doesn't make sense to bring the National Guard in. This is a power move. If anything that Trump does is all about power. He wants to control everything like he's a dictator. And if you don't agree with him and he doesn't like you, he attacks you. And he doesn't care if you're a mayor. He doesn't care if you're a governor. He doesn't care. If you don't agree with him, he's going to attack you, and he's going to attack your constituents that you're representing. He doesn't care. But he's really focusing on majority, minority cities because he believes, and the stats show that in Washington, D.C., 90% of the people that voted did not vote for him. And this is the city that he lives in because he's in the White House. And he's upset when he goes to the golf course that he's driving down the street and he's seeing homeless people. Instead of him being concerned about how to get these people housing, he just wants to criminalize being homeless, being unhoused. He wants to criminalize it. So they're stating basically, if you don't want to cooperate in going to rehab, if you don't want to cooperate in getting into a housing program, and if you don't want to cooperate about throwing away the things that you have with you that are blocking the encampments that they have, if they don't agree to throw those things away, you're going to go to jail. And they didn't say how long you're going to be in jail, but they're going to state that being unhoused is basically a crime, which I think that it should not be a crime to be unhoused. You should work with people that are unhoused and see why they are unhoused. There was one lady that was speaking, and she was saying that she was unhoused because her house got caught on fire and she didn't have the resources to find housing. So now she's living on the street. She had a house, but her house caught on fire and she just didn't have the resources, and the city didn't have the resources to help her. So she's living on the streets now. So I feel like they need to speak with the people first before they just trying to force people to do certain programs. Just figure out, why is this person unhoused? Why are they on the street? Why are they in encampments? There's always a resource other than trying to criminalize someone being unhoused, trying to force someone to go to jail. Okay, and then let's talk about. Okay, then the Department of Homeland Security has agreed with Indiana to use 1,000 state prison beds for immigration detention, naming the facility the Speedy Way Slumber. So basically, they don't have anywhere to take people that they have been detaining from ICE. So they're just reaching out to all these different prisons to fill up the beds. And the reason why they need to fill up these beds, because crime in America has went down. And they have all these prisons. And what is prison? Prison is basically another form of slavery. They need free labor. So that's why they are collecting all these people up with ICE and throwing them into prisons and having them working for free to build furniture, to build, to farm, depending on where the prison is. So it's just upsetting that you can't even just go to work, but you have to also, if you're not a citizen, that you have to worry about if you're going to be picked up to go basically work for free and be a slave in the judicial system, and there's no steps on if how these people are going to be released, or if they're even going to be released. Okay, we're going to talk about Texas. I don't know if y'all been on listening to what's been going on in Texas, but it's been going down, baby. The Democrats from Texas is not playing with the Republicans. Basically, what's going on, they're trying to redistrict the state of Texas in the middle of when we do the census. So the reason why it's important for you to do the census is because you need to have the right representation in regards to where you stay. So that's why every 10 years they have us do the census to see who was born, what nationality lives where, and what representation that you need and what funding you will need in regards to how many kids are born, means how many schools need the funding that they need, how many hospitals need the funding that they need. This different things when it comes to budgeting and finding the right representation. Now, with Texas, they're upset because there are 5 seats that are minority. And the reason why these 5 seats are minorities, that are represented by minorities, is because in their district, majority of that district is minority. So what the Republicans are trying to do is that they're trying to remap the maps that are already there before the 2026 mid-term election, because they know that once this midterm election comes, there are so many people that's going to go out to go vote because they're upset about what Donald Trump is doing in his administration. And if we are able to turn the House and the Senate, the House of Representatives and the Senate over to be minority Democrats, they know that they're not going to be able to pass the things that they have been trying to pass through. So Donald Trump, he told their governor, which is Governor Greg Abbott, to basically, I need 5 seats. So what the Republicans try to do is they try to filibuster and change those seats. But what the Democrats of Texas did, they left. They're not even in Texas. A lot of them are either in Chicago, New York, or Cali, where I stay at. So they are upset. It's over 50 Democrats have left the state. And the Republicans are so upset, and Governor Greg Abbott is upset because they can't pass anything if they don't have everyone inside the state in their districts to vote for their districts. So Governor Abbott put out arrest warrants on the Democrats. He's basically stating that, he's going to have them picked up by the police. And a lot of the Democrats are not afraid because they're not in the state of Texas. So if you put out an arrest warrant in the state of Texas, the arrest warrant is only for Texas. It can't go over to another state. So it can't go over to New York, can't go over to Chicago, can't come over to California, can't do any of that. So they're upset, and we just have to support Democrats that have left because they are not playing. They are playing like the Republicans do. They don't care. The Republicans don't care either. They've been playing chess. The Republicans have been playing chess, and we've been playing checkers, the Democrats. But now the Democrats are playing chess as well, and they're about to be the strongest player on the board, which is the Queen, because ain't nobody about to play with them. We are up. A lot of citizens are upset. A lot of people that were diehard Republicans do not agree about what's going on in this administration, and they agree about the Democrats leaving, and they are getting support from other people in other states. And as long as they stay out of the state, they can't do anything about it. And then Governor Greg Abbott, he's up there trying to say, "Oh, I'll just replace them." You can't even replace them because that's against the law. So you're gonna put out an arrest warrant and then also um, basically go against the laws as well? That's not how it works. So if y'all want to play dirty, we gonna play dirty too, because it doesn't make any sense how you're gonna go in the middle of a term of the census and then redistrict the map. And then they stated if they decide to go against the Democrats and still try to redistrict the maps, then guess what's gonna happen, y'all? California is gonna do the same thing. And New York is saying if that happens, they thinking about doing the same thing too. And Chicago. So Illinois. So let's come on. Let's if we can keep doing it, all the blue states is just gonna be blue states, and we just don't give anybody that's a Republican a chance to run. Because in the state of California, we just let them be equal. We really don't have to have Republicans on the board at all. If we really wanted, if we really wanted to redistrict everything, but we're trying to be equal, trying to be fair. But if you don't want to play fair, we can play dirty. So all I gotta say is Democrats from Texas, keep going, and anybody that can support them. They're not being paid, so they're not being paid. They're just being supported by their supporters. So if you're able to support. If you're not able to support, just inform others. The best thing that you can do is just pass on the information about what's going on. That's free. You ain't gotta donate to nobody. You don't have to do anything. The best thing you can do is news is free. Give away free news and pass it along to your family and your friends so they know what's going on. So when the midterms come around, you are ready, your family is ready, and you're all going down there to vote, and you're going to vote for who you want to vote for. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but we already know who has the best interest of the United States citizens and who has the best interest of the United States billionaires. Take it how you want to take it. Okay, now we're going to talk about the Veterans Department. They have ended over 400K union contracts. So Donald Trump ended a lot of contracts that have to do with veterans. So a lot of veterans that's working at the VA, a lot of veterans that are nurses, a lot of veterans that are working for the federal government. He is ending those contracts. So basically, he's trying to make people work without having a union rep to support them, which means that if your supervisor or your manager is treating you wrong, that you don't have someone that can advocate for you, that you would have to advocate for yourself. And I feel like that is wrong. They've been having the union reps for years. This is the first administration in years that have even attacked the veterans. And I feel like they've already fought for us to have freedom. I don't feel like they should be fighting to have someone to represent them if they feel like they're being mistreated at their workplace. So we have to be on the lookout for that. They're stating that there's going to be some more cuts coming down the line, all because they feel like, this has to do with DEI. Everything, I keep telling y'all, if it ain't got nothing to do with a white male that is a Republican, that is straight, a heterosexual, then it's DEI. It doesn't matter that you're a veteran, that's DEI. So, and we have the inflation remains unchanged in July. So everything is still basically the same. It hasn't went up, it hasn't went down. But the consumer prices has risen 2.7%. So basically, all the goods that we like to buy, like electronics, furniture, anything like that, entertainment, all that stuff has risen 2.7%. But the thing is that inflation has not went down and it has not went up when it comes to household necessities that you need. It's just been the same. But if you listen to Trump, he will say this is the best economy ever, that he's doing a great job. They're hoping that next month, which is September, that that they'll be able to bring down the interest rates in regards to your credit cards or the loans that you have with your mortgage when they bring up the interest rate on those as well. So hopefully um, everything stays the same, so they'll be able to bring down the interest rate. Then we have in Philadelphia is searching for suspects who stole up to 700,000 from our truck. So basically, what they did, they must have been staking out and watching the routine of this truck, because they waited till the worker got out the truck, and when they were coming out of the store with the money bag, they basically attacked him. And good thing is that he was not harmed physically in regards to this incident, but they did get away with $700,000, and then the getaway car, they found that, but the suspects is nowhere to be found. And then my last thing to talk, well, no, not my last thing, my last serious thing to talk about, serious thing in regards to regular news, is scammers are accused of targeting hundreds of elderly victims, and they face federal charges. So basically, what the scam is that they will call an elderly person and say that they have one of their relatives, and state that they wouldn't release them. They'll like say how much they need for ransom. A lot of them was asking like for the Apple gift cards, like for the iPhone, Apple Pay, and then if you couldn't do that, they would actually just send like money doing like Cash App, Venmo. They'll actually do Western Union, or even try to get into your banking information. And a lot of elderly people were falling for this because they want to make sure that their significant other was okay and they didn't want them to be harmed. Now, if this does happen to you and you are elderly and you're not elderly, because everybody get people calling in scam calls and things like that, call the person that they're saying that's in danger, because what they are doing is they are taking your significant others or your family members' voice, and they're able to mimic it. So it makes it sound like you're talking to one of your family members, but you're not. You're talking to a scammer. And then also they'll say like they're in danger, or they say they in jail in another country. Like I live close to the Mexico border, so you have a lot of people that get scam calls saying that the person got caught up in the Mexican jail and they can't talk, and they're their attorney and they're the only ones that can get them out. And they just have a long story. And as we get older, elders, they try to be helpful and they just don't want their family to be hurt. But if you have anyone in your family that is elder, and that you feel as if they are really gullible when it comes to people saying things on the phone, inform them about what's going on, because there's a lot of scams going on. There's even scams of people trying to get into your bank account. Like for me, for instance, someone called me and said that they was calling from my bank, and they said their employee number, and then they were asking me to log into my banking account because they said that someone basically bought something else worth like $800, right? And I was like, okay, but if I get any alerts on my account buying things and all that kind of stuff. I didn't get no alert. So I'm like, I didn't get no alert. So I don't think there's a reason for me to log into my account. And then another thing is that I was at work. So I was like, I'm at work right now. I can't do all that. I just maybe got to call back. And we could just figure that out later. Maybe on my lunch break, I give a call back. They kept trying to force me and push me into logging into my phone. So what I did was I hung up. Like if it's really serious, I can just give my bank a call once I have time and let them know what's going on, and they'll tell me if my account was compromised. And if it is, then we'll just go through the process, right? So that's another scam that they're doing. They're trying to make you log into your account while you're on the phone because they can have access on the phone while they're on the phone with you and try to mirror what you're doing on your account, and then try to basically transfer all the money that you have in your account into their account, and then you have to go through the whole process to try to get your money back. So that's another thing. So watch out for that. Also, another scam that people are doing is text messages. If you don't recognize the text number, do not open it. Do not open it. Do not reply. If you don't recognize the number, just delete it. Because they have certain links that you can click on, and then that person can get all your information on your phone. You can get all the data, all your passwords, all your information for your bank, everything if you click on that link. So it's a lot of scams going on. So just please, please, please be aware and just pay attention. Just slow down sometimes. When somebody's, trying to hurry up and talk to you fast on the phone and they just seem like they're just trying to be eager. That's not a real that's not somebody that is at a corporate office. They're trying to push you for you to verify who you are and all that kind of stuff. They should have all your information. You know what I'm saying? I know for my job, the only thing that we really ask one of our members to verify is just their name, their date of birth, and their home address. We don't ask for no social security card. We don't ask for no debit card. We don't ask for any of that. And I deal with payments and everything. And I tell my members, do not give me any of that information on the phone. If you want any kind of payment to your account, we have a link where you will click on that link, enter your banking information, and be linked to your account. It will be linked to your information that we have. So we don't even deal with people's personal information like that when it comes to their banking information because it's so sensitive. And you don't want to give that over the phone. You should not be giving anyone your social security number over the phone. You shouldn't be giving them your debit card number over the phone. None of that information. All that should be able to be, they should be already have that on file. If you're already making payments for something, they should already have it on file. Or they should be able to lead you to where you can go to their official website and enter your information for you to do your banking information so you can make a payment. Other than that, you should not be giving that information on the phone. And when it comes to security cards, do not give your full number out. They only should be asked for the last four. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, now let's get to another serious subject. So this is the T. I'm gonna give you guys facts all today. I'm gonna give you all facts, but here's the T. Sha'Carri Richardson got into a domestic violence situation at the airport. Now, when everybody was hearing this story, it wasn't really full out like what happened. It just states that she was detained at the airport for domestic violence, and nothing was really released yet. Now, the next day, they released the video. Now, in the video, she's also dating another track star, and he's trying to walk away. So you can tell they probably got into an argument, and he's trying to walk away, and she keeps pushing him. Now, she's not doing like a little nudge. Like, she's like fully on pushing him to where like he's trying to keep his stance from falling. Then she's like pushing the luggage. Then she's pushing him. Then she throw the headphones at him. So then she tells the security guard she wants to charge charges against him. Allegedly, this is what they're saying, that she wanted to press charges. But in the airport, they pull the video to see what happened, and they see that she was the aggressor in the situation. Now, when it comes to domestic violence, no one should be putting their hands on anyone. Everyone should be able to. You having a disagreement with your significant other, you should be able to have conversation, speak it out, talk it out, and go on to the next thing. It should not be that serious. If you feel like someone has been doing you wrong, or if they cheated and you upset about that, just leave the situation. Just walk away, and then come back when your emotions calm down, for you to have a calm conversation. She apologized with a video, and she's also apologized written on social media. She is stating that, that this is the way that she was basically brought up. This is a trauma response to how she deals with situations when she's arguing with her significant other. But I feel like if it was on the other hand and he was the one, slinging her around and pushing her around and everything, I don't think everybody would be so forgiving like that. But I feel like domestic violence can happen to a man too. And people, they are young, they are a young couple, and everybody makes mistakes. So I feel like if they decide that they want to stay together, she needs to go seek some help in regards to her putting her hands on him. And he also needs to find some counseling as well in regards to this situation, because I don't feel like anybody should have to deal with someone that's being harmful to them, even if it's verbally or is it physically. And then for you to be in public, to be pushing him and everything like that, it's not the first time that you probably put your hands on him, because it was too comfortable for you to be out in public. Normally, when something like that happens, if you're upset, whatever, you're not trying to do that all in public, and it's not even thinking there's cameras around. You're a well-known track star, and and you already have the odds against you, because everyone always talks about everything negative that you do. So, Jakari Richardson, please get the help that you need, because you are a real nice girl. You really are, and you're very talented, and you don't want this situation to become something else. So get the help that you need, and I hope her significant other, he gets the help that he needs as well, and let everyone keep your hands to yourself. All right. Now, I hope all that information helped you guys out today. I hope you guys enjoyed my podcast. I hope you guys share, like, subscribe. I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Okay, I'm on all streaming forms. Mama T with Facts and Tea. And also, if you are commenting on my videos, if it's negative, I'm not going to reply. So as long as you just keep being negative, I don't reply to negative comments. Now, if you're going to show love, I'll show love right on back. But all the negativity, you can keep showing negativity all you want. You can be outspoken all you want on my page, but I'm not going to reply. And then if it gets too out of control, the best thing I can do is block. So if you enjoy my page, like it. If you don't like what I'm saying, just keep scrolling. And then maybe next time you watch another clip or watch my whole podcast, maybe I might say something that you do like. But at the end of the day, I don't respond to negativity, but I accept all comments. I accept all the love. I appreciate all the support that I have been getting. I'm going to have to find like a nickname for, you guys that are enjoying my podcast. But thank you for enjoying my podcast tonight. I hope you guys enjoy the information. I hope you guys share with your family and friends. All the information in my page. All right. Good night, you guys. This is Mama T signing out. Bye.